Good morning, evening, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sigma, and I am your host and owner here on the tavern. It is good to have you back once again for this little update video. So, I just wanted to run down a couple of quick things, kind of bring you up to speed on what's happening. First and foremost, where are the episodes? Sigma, where's the content? You promised weekly content. Where is it? I promise it's coming back. Hopefully. If you're an up-and-coming content creator, I have a piece of advice for you. And you veterans, you're probably going to facepalm. You need to have backups. Backups of your backups. And your originals. Always have backups and backups of your backups. The tavern suffered a data loss, which if you have been following the Twitter and Facebook, you would know because we posted about it when it happened. But basically, we lost all content that hadn't been uploaded yet. So basically, all we have currently is the streams that we have recorded since then. Now, keep in mind, that's not only one episode worth of content. That is one episode that is after a gap of what is potentially 9 to 10 episodes, because every stream that we record is normally broken down into about 2 episodes of content. Sometimes it's divvied up into 3 depending on the length of the stream, but normally it's just 2 episodes worth of content per stream. So if there's 5 streams that never got uploaded to the RSS feed and YouTube, that's 10 episodes of content that's missing. So that's the bad news. The good news is that I am personally friends with somebody who is very good at data recovery. And so I have sorted it out with them that they're going to take a look at the drive that the data was lost on, and they're going to see if they can recover it. If they can't, then the tavern is faced with a decision whether or not to just make a time jump and kind of do a little bit to fill in the gap of what's happened between the last episode and then, or just start a new series altogether. So not only was the over-under stuff lost, which is the campaign that's being uploaded to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff like that, which, by the way, if you haven't gone and followed us on those platforms, then you should. But not only was that lost, all of the Star Wars content was lost. All of the Wildermyth content that was in production, that was lost, even though Wildermyth is kind of people liked it. It kind of fell off the face of the earth when our producer had to do stuff with school related to school. But it's been a ride so far. So currently they're still working on data recovery, but until we can get a definite answer on whether or not everything is gone for good, we are currently in a state of standby mode where not a lot is happening and not a lot of content is being produced. However, provided we can start getting support, there are other series that we can start. We can pick ourselves up in the meantime and continue forward, because it would be a shame in a place that's all about the story. It would be a shame if the tavern met such a lame ending. You know what I mean? So what we're going to do is most likely find a story-driven game. We're going to we're going to record a campaign. Not a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but like a campaign in that story-driven game. Try and get some more content coming to the YouTube channel so that you guys have something to come back to until we can get that data recovered or figure out what the heck we're going to do. And Also, until then, I have some places for you to check out. So, the first place is, of course, our Twitter and Facebook pages. That's our social media. Follow us there to get updates. If you were following us beforehand, you would have known that we suffered a data loss. We might also be expanding, and keep an ear out because that actually will announce it on Facebook and Twitter. But keep an ear out. We might expand to Instagram, as well as maybe some other social media platforms. Not entirely sure. Not TikTok. Anyways, expanding to different social media platforms. And there are 2 other places that we want, actually, scratch that. 3 other places that we need you to check out. First place is Patreon. Patreon is a lovely website that allows people like you and me to go to the Patreon or go to a page built specifically by and for a content creator so that you can support them in one of the best ways possible, which is donations. So on the Tavern, we have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/Sigma's Tavern. And on Sigma's Tavern, or the Sigma and Company Tavern, as it were, we have 3 tiers of patrons. The first one is Tavern Patron, where for $3 a month, you get access to the private Discord that myself and the other players use. And the cool thing about that is that while there's a bunch of different Discords that we're all a part of and kind of hang around, sometimes we all gather in the tavern to play games. Be that Jackbox party games, Minecraft, Destiny, all kinds of group community games where we all band together and we all play. So there's a chance that you could be a part of that, and possibly make it into a recording at some point. Then the second tier is a $5 tier called the Tavern Regular. And in this tier particularly, this is the one where you start getting exclusive early access to those episodes. You know what I'm saying? You got that early access? Yeah, I got that early access, but only for Tavern Regulars. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And finally, we have the well-known face, which is $10 a month. $10 a month. That's like buying a burger every month. I don't know what's worse. The fact that some people might only have one burger a month, or the fact that the burger is $10. What is our economy? In this $10 a month tier, you have access to the Discord with your own special role, just like the Tavern Regular and Tavern Patron. And finally, we have the well-known face, which is $10 a month. $10 a month. That's like buying a burger every month. I don't know what's worse. The fact that some people might only have one burger a month, or the fact that the burger is $10. What is our economy? You have early access to episodes, and you also have your name put on the recognition reel, which is a little scrolling list that goes onto YouTube videos, or a list of names that we read off every episode, or not necessarily every episode, but at least once a month. We read off the list of well-known faces who are top donators that we super appreciate, and who we want to, well, hopefully stick around. So Patreon, those 3 tiers are available for everybody, and we tried to make it as cheap as possible, so that it would be affordable to people in a year where finances are kind of tight. But the only way that the tavern's going to survive survive and thrive, is if we can get some more support. So, speaking of more support, another place that you can go support us is Buy Me a Coffee, where we have had people come through and do some one-time donations. So Buy Me a Coffee is something that's similar. You can go there. It's Sigma's Tavern again. Both, by the way, links will be in the description below for both Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee, as well as Buzzsprout, and we'll get to Buzzsprout here in a second. But Buy Me a Coffee is a place where you can go and do a one-time donation, if that's all you can afford. And then finally, Buzzsprout. So Buzzsprout is not a sponsor. They're too cool to be a sponsor. But if you follow the link in the description below to Buzzsprout, which, by the way, is an excellent podcast hosting service, I have to tell you, and I'm going to tell you all about it here in just a second. I have to tell you that if you follow that link down below, you're going to be happy. It supports us because when you use our link to go to Buzzsprout, it's going to tell them, hey, Sigma's Tavern sent these guys your way. And they're going to be like, oh, hey, thanks. We appreciate you. And we'll be like, yeah, no problem. So what is Buzzsprout? Well, Buzzsprout is a phenomenal podcast hosting service where you can take the audio bites from your recordings, be those live streams, YouTube, whatever, and you upload those audio bites to Buzzsprout, and Buzzsprout manages them like a library. And then it gives out an RSS feed, which is like a key to the lock on the cabinet that all of your podcast audio files are stored in. They then take that key, they duplicate it, and they give it to different podcast hosting services, podcasting platforms that you want your podcast on, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a couple other just off the dome. There's Google Podcasts, Pandora, anywhere you get your podcasts, basically. Buzzsprout takes that key and spreads the love, spreads the joy, and all of those places, once your podcast is given the thumbs up by those platforms, those places come back to the cabinet, insert the key, take out the audio file, and they're like, oh yeah, thanks. Woo! And they toss it back and they put it on their platform. So it makes managing your podcasts super easy. So if you're going to start a podcast, which I highly recommend you do, and if you do, back up your data, use our link down in the description below to head over to Buzzsprout and show some love for the tavern, show some love for Buzzsprout, and Buzzsprout will show you some love. Okay, that's about it. It's been a long couple weeks. So, but we are getting things in gear. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep this video nice and short so that it didn't take up too much of your time, and more content should be, coming your way. Follow all the socials, and yeah, grab yourself a nice cold pint of root beer. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you either in the live stream, which will be this Saturday and every Saturday unless otherwise specified, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, or if we don't catch you there, we'll catch you on the flip side. So take care. Have yourself a good day. We'll catch you later.